This is a look round my Accucraft live steam locomotive. This one's called Lawley. It's no longer available as a new item, and for quite a while the body wasn't available, but the power plant was until about 2011 or so. So it's been unavailable for a little while. It's still available second hand, and clearly that's how I got it. So let me just have a look at some of the features on it, because I've got a roundhouse one. Now they are, again, second hand. One of the nice things about it is that around this locomotive you see almost scale-size bolt heads. So if you look at the buffer beam there, you'll see that it's got these lack of focus. I really am going to have to look at a different camera, aren't I? Maybe it's the lighting that does it. I should focus on that, and it isn't doing. Otherwise you'd be able to see the sharpness in that. I'm going to stop this. Okay then, that should show up the detail a bit better. And that is continued around at the base of the smoke box. You'll see these bolts, and quite a few of them are functional. They're fully functional. The smoke box door does open. If I turn it so you get some light in there, it shows you the end of, let me just reposition. Right, I'm back with you. I'm just having difficulties with this camera. And so, it may be that the exposure is not very good, but you can see the nut detail then on there. The opening smoke box door, so you can see the end of the fire tube there, and the superheater steam pipe coming through that, and going down below it, and some of the detail, and you can see the pressure gauge visible in the window there. Now the roof, I believe, is designed that there should be a piece of wire to allow it to flip open. That's not there anymore. It just clips forward. This on one of the other ones you have to wind the handle to open and close it. This one just clips in. This is an RC model. In the cab you've got the usual things. First of all, you've got the steam oil. You can see a steam pipe going through. You've got a regulator handle, and just see a wire from that going to a servo. You've got this manifold thing, a junction off the manifold to the pressure gauge. The steam regulator is manually controlled here, so that's not remote controlled. The control of the loco is by means of the handle that goes to the gear mechanism, the motion. There is a sight glass on it, and this is the connection for the sight glass. And then the gas pipe feeding the boiler comes from here, and the gas tank is down in this part of the side tank, just in this area here. Doesn't fill the whole side tank. So that's the back end of the boiler. If we turn it over, what will we see? Well, one of the things we'll see is a drain here. Although there's a sight glass, there's another connection to the top end of the tank, and I'm assuming, though I've not got the manual, that if you open that drain it will tell you when you've filled, and the filling is done, as far as I can tell, from the top of the manifold there. If I turn it further over, you'll see a drain here, which is the water drain from the bottom of the inline gas, not gas, oiler. And you've got these wires. Now most of the control is from these eccentrics on this wheel here. It's an 060, and what that's doing is there are two followers on the eccentrics driving through levers which come out of the side frames, and those operate valves. So it's from the eccentrics from that wheel there running to here, which then comes through here, and that motion is converted into the valve motion, which you will see moving if I position the camera correctly. So as I turn the wheels, you'll see this moving here, and that's on top of the cylinder you've got the valve box, and so that's from that motion there. So that's in not adjustable, that's slip eccentric driving through a crank to control the valve. What does vary is this piston from this lever here, which runs up the middle of those to the central part between the two cylinders, and that then is controlled by the lever at the side to give neutral, forward and reverse control, and that's the only remote control on this Loco. There's no control of the gas firing and no control of the steam regulator. In one of the tanks, the side tanks, this one, there is currently a battery. I'm not sure of the condition of that, I think I might need to replace it. There is a space for a receiver which would go in there. I'm not quite sure which wires will go to it. It could be that this is the wire to the servo, that wire there is to the battery, there's the switch which will switch it on and off. One of the wires will be a charging lead, and one of the wires will be the power to the receiver. And so when I work out which one is which way around it goes through that switch, then I'll be able to put a receiver in here, presuming that what I'll need to do is take the tank off to get to that. Now it looks as though the there's something that looks as though it might have a cover plate on here. There are a couple of nuts in there which I presume are holding the battery in, so the type of battery that's in there may have been changed at some time, and somebody's had to drill some holes, because all the other nuts seem to be of a standard BA size, and these beautiful little heads on the nuts, similar to the detail on the cylinder ends. So, and quite a substantial frame, quite substantial metal in the frame, quite substantial part of the frame here, and then presumably brass or tin plate body. So that's just a quick look at the thing as it sits there, noting that it certainly is a much better quality than the sort of thing you find with the basic steam locos I've had, which are things like the Mamod, even the improved Mamod. There's no real comparison. They are low-cost devices built down to a price, but when you get up to this price, you are really getting a much better build, as far as I can see from all I'm looking at here. Nicely detailed nuts and bolts holding it together, no silly pop rivets, good substantial buffer beam metal at the end there, good substantial frames, making for a strong locomotive. We'll see more about it later.